All right, how about those Cowboys? NFC East today, their win total is 8.5. Last year, 9-7 straight up, 8-7-1 ATS, 10-6 to the under. -1 in the turnover differential. That was good for 16th. Football Outsiders had them number 12th in offense, 15th in defense, 8 in special teams. Mainstream stats, they were 26th in passing offense and 2nd in rushing offense. Total defense, they were 8th. Here's the big story. Witten retires to go in the broadcast booth. They get rid of Des Bryant. Williams has the Lamborghini off the field running. Who knows what they're going to do with him? In any event, he's the only guy back who caught more than 40 passes last year.
Yeah, and there's a fair few questions on a team that's been a solid squad each of the last 2 years. And certainly it starts with the skill position talent. Now, you bring in Allen Hurns, a former Jaguars receiver. You bring in the former Bills receiver, Deontay Thompson, and you say, all right, these guys are going to be difference makers for us. Maybe. Maybe. And, of course, Zeke Elliott, who, running behind one of the elite offensive lines in all of football, averaged 5.1 yards per carry 2 years ago. Last year, the suspensions, the downfield passing game issues, and the offensive line not living up to those expectations, a full yard per carry worse. Zeke Elliott went from 5.1 yards per carry to 4.1 yards per carry. So now you have a running back who, I'm not going to say he's in decline, but a running back who was a yard per carry worse last year, a receiving core that's been completely rebuilt, and a QB in Dak Prescott was great as a rookie. Was good, I thought, last year. But is Dak Prescott capable of leading a team to a Super Bowl? Haven't seen that yet, and I'm not convinced that he is that guy for the Dallas Cowboys, especially considering that offensive line, which 3 Pro Bowlers again last year. But frankly, the reputation superseded the reality. That offensive line was good. They weren't great. They weren't road graders. They didn't dominate game after game like the Eagles' offensive line did. That's a concern when you're paying that OL all of that money. You have 3 Pro Bowlers on that OL, and you've still just done some adjusting in the offseason. I've got concerns about Dallas on offense. I really do.
I think that's terrific. You know, the Elliott suspension killed him. His numbers are horrible with Elliott off the field. He was great his rookie year. It wasn't his fault the defense couldn't get a stop against Aaron Rodgers, I'll tell you that.
And, well, the defense is very much an issue for this Cowboys team when we look at the 2018 campaign. You know, they brought back Garrett. They brought back Linehan on offense. And they brought back Marinelli to coach the defense. Now, this is a defense that, well, I don't know. Let's put it this way. With Sean Lee last year, they went 8-2 straight up. Without him, he had that hamstring injury. They went 1-5. And there are issues at linebacker. There are issues in the secondary for Dallas. And frankly, I'm not in love with this pass rush either. And when you look at the draft, you know, they went to Leighton Vander Esch, the linebacker out of Boise, to help with that line. I mean, that linebacking core is depleted in the post-Anthony Hitchens era. And then after that, it was offense the rest of the way. That defense has some holes, Pauly, some significant holes. The Cowboys are going to win games this year and win them by margin. That offense had better be clicking on all cylinders. And with a completely rebuilt receiving core, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Very true. Schedule, NFC East plays the NFC South, the AFC South, 2 extra games at Seattle, Detroit at home. The tough start out of the gate at Carolina, Giants at home, at Seattle. And then they also go to Houston a couple of weeks later. So it'll be tough on them out of the gates. What are your thoughts on the Cowboys and the schedule?
Well, I mean, you look down the stretch for Dallas, and it's fairly friendly. You know, only 2 road games after November 18th. So it's a home-friendly schedule. And when you look at the actual numbers, when you grade out the teams based on this year's season win over-unders, you know, this year's season win totals, the Dallas Cowboys schedule is legitimately right at the league average. You know, they have 500 schedule. Last year's was tougher than this year's. So the Cowboys have a little bit of a break in that regard. The schedule getting easier than it was a season ago. You talked about NFC South, AFC South, and then the 2 extras at Seattle and Detroit. You know, at Seattle and Detroit, it's not bad for 2 extra games, considering some of the 2 that teams are getting, 2 teams that are not likely necessarily to match last year's success, where both those teams were solid, if not spectacular. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.